It's that time again. It's online 1v1 time. And this battle doesn't include the Empire. Wahey! It's a Christmas miracle in June. So I'm playing as the Vampire Count, as you can see, and my opponent, BRETONNIA. He's got a few more units than I do, only 2. But that can be all the difference. I brought a Terrorgeist along, which I've tried to use online a couple of times now, but they just seem a little bit shit. It's an anti-large unit, so it should be good against horses and stuff. So I'm going to try it out in this one, but they do have some pretty strong flying units on BRETONNIA with these bad boys that are coming my way now, actually, the Pegasus Knights. Let's slow this down and check out the armies. So my main line is just a few units of skeleton warriors, oh so deadly. I brought quite a few spear units along, about 4 I think. That's going to be to obviously deal with all the horses of BRETONNIA. Graveguard, they're my elite infantry. My lord is a vampire lord, and he's supported by a white king, because the vampire lord isn't great in melee because he's a wizard, so I thought I'd better support him with someone who can throw down with King Leon Kerr, because he's one tough dude. So I've got my Terrorgeist, some bats as well. My sort of left wing. I brought some direwolves along to deal with any ranged, because they'll get chewed up by these guys. Hopefully I can get them in. Got some black knights, pretty standard cavalry, and some hex wraiths, pretty damn good cavalry. I was going to try and hide these, but I opted not to in the end. So that's my army. Let's have a quick look what's going on. They're still coming over. So my opponent's got 2 units of Pegasus Knights, King Leon Kerr on a flying thing. He's got a bunch of cavalry over here, mounted yeomen, all the mounted yeomans. No Knights of the Realm or Grail Knights, which is a curious decision. Some spears, halberds, bows, the typical infantry for BRETONNIA. So a fairly balanced build, maybe a little bit unorthodox without the Knights of the Realm and Grail Knights, as they are the popular cavalry to bring. But we'll see how this fares. So I've got my bats and my Terrorgeist over here. His Pegasus Knights are coming over, and they're pretty much going to kick the crap out of all my flying units, because this Terrorgeist just doesn't seem to do anything against flying units very well. So I'm going to send my bats over to just die. And my Terrorgeist, I'm going to try and hope that he doesn't try to chase after my Terrorgeist, which he doesn't. He sends both units after the bats. So I take that opportunity to head after the cavalry. He does send Leon Kerr after him though. Cast a little spell to slow the speed of the Pegasus Knights should they try to come after me. But Leon Kerr is hot on the tail of my Terrorgeist, and it's 100 speed each. Leon Kerr had a buff there briefly, so now it's 100 speed, so he's not going to catch him. He shouldn't catch my Terrorgeist. I don't think the Pegasus Knights are only 84 speed, and they're down buffed at the moment. Down buffed, is that a word? Debuffed? I'm aiming for all these cavalry with my Terrorgeist, because it's an anti-large unit, is the Terrorgeist, is what you might not expect. You might think it's anti-infantry, but it's actually anti-large. So great against horses. It should be good against lords on things like Deathclaw and that, but it just doesn't seem to be in my experience. Should be good against other large units, but going to get it into these horses, see what it can do. These aren't the strongest of cavalry either, so it should chew through them, but it's starting to waver already. I'll have a little watch. Just sitting there at the moment, just chilling in the crowd of horses that are stabbing him. Come on, do something. He's got 1 kill. He's managed to kill... Oh, there we go. He's got 5 kills now. So, Terrorgeist is struggling, it seems. Bringing his Pegasus Knights near my main army now. This is, of course, unnerving me. I thought maybe he was going for my general at first, so I started rushing over to that side with my spearmen, protecting my Vampire Lord. I'm just playing a bit of a waiting game at the moment, just seeing what he does. Because these Pegasus Knights are my enemy's strongest unit, so if I get them dead, he's pretty much got nothing else. Because he's just got the Yeoman Cavalry, who are not a great cavalry. And I just shot him with a spell there, that managed to kill one of his Pegasus Knights. It's not a very powerful spell, but it does seem to kill at least one thing from the unit each time it hits, so... serving a purpose, better than just standing there, because I don't really have any other options to hit him when he's flying around. Because obviously you don't have any ranged, other than my Terrorgeist that is slowly dying over there. So just waiting game, gonna fast forward bits, because there's a lot of sitting around, a lot of waiting. Shot him again there with the spell, killed another one off. He makes a move now. I'm thinking, oh, shizzle, where's he going? Seemed to be sat around a long time over there. So he's headed in for my Graveguard, my precious Graveguard. These are my strongest melee units, so a good choice to attack. Gonna do a lot of damage to them as well. Only lost a couple of men though, or corpses, whatever they may be. And he pulls them away, pulls them away straight away as I rush my spears over there and my crypt ghouls. He just about gets 1 unit away, but I managed to keep a hold of the other one. So my crypt ghouls and my spears are going to get into this Pegasus unit now. and they're going to do a lot of damage pretty quick. And that could have been a small victory for my opponent there had he got away just a touch sooner and hadn't let me get hold of these Pegasus Knights, because now I'm going to do about half health damage to them, which kind of evens out what they did to one of my best units. So a trade-off there, best unit's health for a best unit's health. Going to rush my Wraiths over as well just to try and maximise the amount of damage I do. But we've managed to counter that Pegasus attack a little bit, so that's helpful. We're both playing a cautious game at the moment. I'm not in any rush to hurry down there and fight his main army. If I can get rid of his Pegasus Knights before I do that, I know I'm pretty much golden, because like I said, his Pegasus Knights are his best unit. Once those are out of the way, not a lot else to deal with other than maybe Leon Kerr, because he's so hard to bring down. But he's just flying these Pegasus Knights around me at the moment, just kind of unnerving me. It's going to be a little bit more of a stalemate while we wait. I've got this this weird formation going on. Just kind of left my army how it was after the engagement. Bit of a mess, but hey, chaos. Sometimes a bit of chaos can be useful in your formation. So it's just a waiting game now. Waiting for Leon Kerr to come back over by the looks of it. Not sure if he's planning to attack with Leon Kerr on his side of the Pegasus Knights. Got to bring my Vampire Lord over though. Ding another spell. Take another Pegasus Knight out of the sky. Doesn't do too much damage to their health, but like I said, I'll try it on the General now. Let's try and ding him with one. Oh, hit a Pegasus Knight again though. That's another one down. So this is all just helping. These are just tiny little victories that are going to aid in hopefully giving me a W. A win. He moves off his Pegasus Knights and his General now. I can't see them because they've gone off the map. If you look on my little mini-map, you see it's all black. I can't actually see what's in the black. So all his Yeoman Cavalry in the black area, I can't see them. I don't know where they are. So I decide instead of just waiting around, I'm going to move now. I'm going to push on his main army and we'll see how this goes. Keeping an eye out just in case those Yeoman Cavalry come along and start sniping me down with their ranged, because if he came over with his range, there's not a lot I could do about it, because obviously I have no range. I could try and chase him off with my cavalry, but I think they get outrun. So I'm moving up my skeletons now, charging them up. I'm not expecting them to do loads, I just want them to do some damage before the rest of my stuff gets there. Obviously these crypt ghouls, they're taking a bit of fire from the trebuchet at the moment, but my crypt ghouls aren't going to be great for fighting all these spears and stuff, because obviously anti-large. But they'll still do a good bit of damage. The Pegasus Knights and Leon Kerr have appeared behind me, just watching. I've got these 2 units of spears here, just to protect against them. Although it can't really protect against them because they can just fly straight over them. But, you know, I'm just keeping them scattered around my army. So, whichever part of the army he decides to attack, I can quickly get some spears there, hopefully. And at this point, it would have seemed like a great opportunity for the Bretonnian archers to come along, the cavalry archers to come over and just start peppering all my units while I'm walking up, because there's nothing I could do to stop them. I could send maybe the direwolves here or my horses after them, but they probably wouldn't have caught them and they would have just got kited. I'm sending my direwolves in now though. Going to try and mess up the ranged. I spread them out, I put them into the centre, I pushed them, ran them into the centre and then ran them towards his ranged just to try and get more of them. I managed to catch them. He tries to pull them back but touch too late. Starts to bring over some spears though, so I'm out of there. They look like tiny lions more than anything actually. Tiny dead skinless lions. They're still about. So I'm doing my best to keep the direwolves alive at this point. I could have just left them there, but they probably would have been killed by the spearmen. So I'm running them around the back here. You can see the route and where they're going to end up. I want to get them into those skirmishers because they will tear them up. Literally tear them to shreds. And these spearmen have been left at a funny angle, so they're now getting attacked in the rear by my skeletons, which is pretty bad for them. So a micro error there perhaps. Direwolves just about ready to munch through some archers in the rear as well. Gonna bite them right in the arse. Num 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 num. They're gonna fall pretty quickly. Their health is flying down. Kills are flying up for the direwolves. So I'm really looking to get those direwolves into all the units of archers if I can. My skeletons are struggling as always. I've got a bad matchup over here for me. My black knights were engaged with halberds, but I pulled them through and got them into these missiles, which is just gonna stop the missiles for now. I've told my direwolves to attack the next unit of archers as the other ones have run away. It might have been a better idea to stay on those archers to get rid of them completely, but I'm just going to chew up as many archers as I can at this point. I'm trying to protect my Graveguard, because these are my elite infantry. These are the ones that are going to do most of the killing. They don't really have any units that can handle Graveguard. All those spears and halberds will get chopped. At the back, the Pegasus Knights and Leon Kerr are attacking 2 units of my spears, which to me is a terrible choice for them to attack. An expensive unit like that, you don't want to be wasting them on attacking spearmen, especially as the spearmen are the Pegasus Knights' weakness. So he could have been using them to attack the Graveguard like he did earlier. It did a lot of damage. He is bringing in the yeoman cavalry now though, although they are all charging kind of clumped together and seem to be charging at my dire wolves. When there's a unit of graveguard there who could have been charged, that would have been a much better target for him to take down a bit. But the front line battle is pretty much underway, what there is of it. There's a lot of spearmen routing. There's Pegasus Knights. My spears at the back are still alive, getting shot by yeoman cavalry. He's bringing in the Pegasus Knights to attack the Wraiths now, and Leon Kerr. Not sure who he's going after there. Again, probably would have been better going after the Graveguard or someone more dangerous. More spearmen nearby that are going to be great for taking down all those units. Maybe even Leon Kerr as well, because he's on a large. Still up for debate, not really sure if he's a large, but whatever. I pulled my Hex Wraiths away as quick as possible because I didn't want them to die, because they're going to be really useful for mopping up the rest of these units. So I'm going to start bouncing them from unit to unit. My Skeleton Warriors over here, very thin on numbers, but still fighting. Still fighting. My Spearmen look like they're going for those cavalry. So the main fighting units left is Leon Kerr here with his Pegasus Knights against some Crypt Ghouls, some Spearmen. I've got my White King coming in now. I tried to get him after Leon Kerr, if I do recall. My Wraiths are getting a charge in. My Vampire Lord's over there for now. I'm going to get him into Leon Kerr in a second. He's about to take a massive charge. He gets put on his ass. But it's not too bad because the Yeoman Cavalry don't have a great charge bonus. My Spearmen over here are just taking some arrows to the skull, quite literally. Not really fast, they don't mind, they're just taking it. Bit of a micro error there by me. Just letting my skeletons get shot up, but I'll realise in a minute. So now it's just his routed units that have returned left. And we start to move into the mop-up phase. And who are you going to call? Ghosts. Just ghosts. Or Hex Wraiths, if you will. Gonna get them to start bouncing from all these leftover units, especially... Ooh, spears in the back. Ooh, nice. Routes them pretty much instantly. Or, oh yeah, shattered them as well. Shattered one of the units, shattered the archers. Great. Over here, our heroes and lords are still throwing down. My spearmen have finally realised they don't want to be shot anymore, so I'm chasing them off. I pull one of my units back and let the other one keep chasing, because it's going to get rid of them and keep them running off that way. So that they're just not going to be in the fight, which is great for me. It's just buying me time to deal with the rest of the army, and then all I'll have left, if they still stay around, is the Yeoman Archer Cavalry, because they've been away from the fight for so long. But it's all just clumping up now in this little mess of lords and heroes and spears, it seems, and a couple of ugly ghouls as well. Got some more of my spears coming in. He's got a paladin in there as well, Pegasus Knights. Gonna try and wrap all this up, get all this dead. I think we may have killed Leon Kerr actually, I can't see him anymore. He must be a corpse. Wonder if we can raise him for ourselves. And with that, the mass routing ensues, and a victory is ours. A Pyrrhic one, but still a victory. A good game, an enjoyable game, a bit of strategy going on there at the start with the scuffles here and there with the Pegasus Knights and the Terrorgeist and the horses and the Spearmen and all that jazz. As for kills, 104 for the Direwolves, 21 for the Terrorgeist. That's not too bad considering they were all horses. Fairly average performance from most of my units, nothing too special. Graveguard did quite a bit. His units, Pegasus Knights, obviously did most of their killing. Everything else, there's one spear unit there with 103, they're pretty good, but a pretty even look across the board for both sides. As for the match itself, I thought my opponent made some good choices early on, like sending his general after the Terrorgeist. If he hadn't sent his general after the Terrorgeist, I think my Terrorgeist would have torn up possibly all 5 of those cavalry units, because the Terrorgeist is pretty good against horses, I think. So he made a good call sending Leon Kerr after that. Also the Pegasus Knights attacking the Graveguard, of course, that was a good move. If he just got them away a tiny bit sooner, it would have come off so much better for him. I probably should have moved up sooner instead of waiting around letting his flying units damage me like that. And the Vampires, much like the Chaos Warriors, I think, are very much a rush faction. You have to move quickly with them. You can't hang about because you're going to get outranged pretty quick. But I think my opponent missed an opportunity to use his missile cav while I was moving up to attack his main force. He could have just been annoying me and just peppering me as I was walking up, doing as much damage as he can. Maybe bringing in the horses a bit sooner and doing some charges, getting some charges into the backs of my Graveguard or even my Skeleton Warriors, things that would help out his Spearmen to win the infantry battle. And attacking those Spearmen at the back of my army with the Pegasus Knights I think was a mistake, because that was large into anti-large, and they're an expensive unit, the Pegasus Knights. If he put them into those Graveguard that I had, he would have fared a lot better in the melee fight if my main killing force was taken out by the Pegasus Knights. Anyway, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this. I will see you all in the future.